You see, over the years, one of the most important things I've learned in business is to make offers that people cannot refuse. If you make the value high enough, then people do not have a problem paying the price. But in the absence of value, people will always judge, compare, and probably end up going for somebody else. So today I would like to show you 7 traits of irresistible offers. Trait number 1, your offer needs to be very easy to understand. You don't want to bombard them with information. You get this and that one and the other one and this one plus this one and that one, and things are completely unrelated and it's just complete confusion, because that creates friction, and a confused mind never buys. And the number 1 rule when it comes to this is to keep it stupid simple. In other words, you give me $50, I give you $100 back in results. That's simple. It's clear, it's easy to say yes to, that's what you want. Number 2, your offer needs to be highly desirable, because remember, people don't buy what they need, they buy what they want. And usually it comes down to either avoiding pain or gaining pleasure. So your offer must answer one of these questions. Is this solution, is this service or product solving a real problem for me? Does it solve a real pain that I have? Or does it really give me something that I really want? It always comes down to what your product or service does for them, right? For your customers, for your clients. Number 3, which is high perceived value. So in other words, what do your prospects think your product or service is worth? Because many people make these mistakes. They include a lot of bonuses in their offer, right? Like we talked about, they clutter their offer. They don't keep it clear. They have, let's say, a course, and then they have bonus 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it doesn't end. It's an endless list of bonuses. But just because you're adding more stuff, it doesn't necessarily make it more valuable. It's up to the prospect to decide what your offer is worth. And the way they decide what truly matters is how relevant is it to them? How relevant is it to the problem or pain they're experiencing? How likely is it that your solution will solve their problems, will solve their pain? And that's the most important thing. That's how they decide the worth of your product. And so your product's perceived value will always be determined by clarity, relevance, and specific outcomes, not volume. Number 4, how easy is your product to get? It must be easy to get, especially nowadays. Anything that adds any friction at all will decrease the chances somebody buys your product. Because think about it, if you have somebody who's ready to buy, okay, I have my credit card, I'm here, I'm ready to buy, just let me buy this thing. But then they have to fill a form, and then they have to fill another form, and then they get the confirmation email, and then they click on the confirmation email, and then there's another form. It makes it so much harder for them to buy. It makes it so much harder. There's so many friction points. You want to eliminate as much of that as possible. You want it to be as frictionless as possible. It needs to be like a smooth slide. You need to make it as easy as possible for people to buy your product. Number 5, your offer needs to be believable. How many times have you heard somebody say this phrase, this is too good to be true, right? Like, what's the catch? It's too good to be true. And many times it is the case. Usually there's some kind of catch, right? And people are smart, and people, they're used to it nowadays, of people making all these insane claims and offers, and perhaps they got burnt in the past, they got scammed, and so it needs to be believable. And the number 1 way to make it more believable, except giving testimonials and reviews and this and that, is to give them a reason. Give them a reason for this offer. Maybe it's a new product, maybe you're looking to get testimonials, maybe you're looking to build trust, maybe you're clearing inventory. When people understand why your offer exists in the first place, they're way more likely to believe you, and they're also way more likely to buy. Number 6, your offer needs to ideally eliminate, but at least reduce risk. Because people are usually very risk averse. It's a very natural trait of human beings. You are more afraid of losing something than you are afraid of gaining nothing. And so you need to remove that fear. You need to make people less risk averse. You need to get them to stop thinking about all the risks of making this investment, of buying your product, and instead make them think about all the benefits, about the upside, about all the positive things that are gonna come, about how their problem is going to be solved, about how they're going to get what they really want. And another way to do this is by introducing guarantees. That's why you see all of these 30-day money back guarantee, 60-day money back guarantee, whatever. Because the less risk they feel, the more likely it is for them to say yes. And number 7, you need urgency, because if you don't give people a reason to act now, guess what? They won't act. They'll delay, they'll wait, they'll think about it, they'll check with their spouse, they'll check with their uncle that lives in a van by the river. They won't buy, they will postpone decisions. People love to postpone decisions. So again, give them a reason to act now. Maybe it's a limited time discount, maybe it's limited inventory, maybe it's limited quantity, limited bonuses, deadline pricing, anything, any reason for them to act now. But when you give them a reason to act now, you need to make sure it's real. People have caught on over the years. You go onto a website and it says limited time offer, buy in the next hour, or the offer expires, and then you hit refresh on the website and the timer goes back to 1 hour. That's not real. People catch on to these things. People are not so stupid. They understand these offers are there to get them to buy. They are used to seeing these things. And so when you have a limited time offer, make sure it's actually a limited time offer. When you have limited spots available, make sure you actually have limited spots available, and so on, right? You don't want to have fake timer countdowns and fake urgency, because once people catch onto it, they will lose trust in you and your product and your brand, and they'll probably go and buy from your competition. And so without real urgency, even the greatest offers get ignored. Now, understanding how to make your offers irresistible is one thing. Understanding the theory is one thing, but most people do not struggle with ideas. They do not struggle with knowledge, especially in the era of AI. Information is available at our fingertips. All the courses, all the content on YouTube, all the books. It is extremely easy to get access to information. It is extremely easy to generate ideas, but it is even harder to know what's right, and it is even harder to know how to implement it correctly. And this is where using AI becomes your leverage. Because nowadays you can use AI tools to simplify your offer into a clear message, position your offer better, increase perceived value, build funnels and landing pages faster than ever before, right? And the problem is that most people outsource their thinking to AI instead of using AI as a tool to help them execute faster, better, and more efficiently. But AI cannot do the thinking for you. It doesn't replace the strategy. You are the one that creates the strategy, and then AI helps you execute it better. You want to be able to create these irresistible offers and use AI to give you an edge, to make them better, to make them faster, to make them more efficient, so you can beat your competition. Now, if you want to learn more about how to actually use AI to create an irresistible offer for your business, check out some of the links in the description below and learn how to create an irresistible offer that your prospect simply cannot refuse.